going to call the meeting to order at 11:30. Dr. Ball?
Yes, we're going to start with our invocation and pledges by Roger.
Thank you. Please stand if you're able. Lord, as we gather for this special meeting, may we be grounded in purpose and guided by a spirit of service. Let us approach our work with open minds and thoughtful hearts. May we listen carefully, speak with respect, and collaborate with integrity. We are grateful for the growth and expansion within our district and for the many projects underway that will benefit our students and community. May we be thoughtful stewards of these opportunities and be mindful of the impact our work will have for years to come. We also give thanks for the meals shared during this time, the Child Nutrition Department that prepared it, and for the nourishment it provides as we continue our work together. May the decisions we make today reflect our commitment to our students, staff, and the families we serve. And all these things we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, ma'am.
Did we have anybody signed up to speak?
We did not.
Okay.
You can take a short.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a short break for everybody to get their food. So, start with, do I say the time? 11:41. Item 4, consider approval of guaranteed maximum price for package number 2 of Southwest Legacy High School Addition Project.
Yes, ma'am. We're pretty excited because this will finalize all our major projects, getting the GMPs done and getting construction started. Previously, the board approved GMP 1, which was about $892,000 for site work. We've worked with district staff, the architect, Pfluger, with Joris. We went through all the bids that Joris received for this project, and we looked at all the subcontractors' bids for this project. And at this time, we're asking the board to approve a GMP 2 of $14,986,124. I will say that this project overall, when you include GMP 1, is about $16,974,584 total construction project buy-in. We did add scope as a district. We are replacing all the controls. We have controls issues there. We ran this by our subcommittee. And so we did add $1 million to this project overall from the original budget. And so we're asking the board and recommending to approve the GMP Package 2 for the Southwest Legacy High School project.
I move that we approve the.
I second.
Daniel and Flo. Do we have any questions?
No.
If not, I need, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Consider approval to award contract RFP 2425-114 for graphic design services.
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna have Winston and his team come up and present this. We released an RFP on graphic designs to really reinvent our cafeterias. And so they're gonna present real quickly on what this would look like and what our plan is. And I know most of you probably haven't met Joshua yet. This is Joshua Lawrence. He is our child nutrition specialist. He's focused in on the procurement side, so he helps with the bids at child nutrition and some other things. Duties assigned.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So yes, we are excited to present today some proposals for graphic design services in our cafeterias. We're looking at starting with our elementary schools and then moving on to the middle schools and the high schools. We did a 1-year contract with the option to extend up to 2 further 1 years. That way we can spread this project out. We had 6 responses, and we evaluated 3 that we found the most responsive. And we decided that Palmer Hamilton LLC was the best value for the district. So we have some proposals here. This would be 2 versions of the elementary schools, doing some painting and the new graphic printables on the walls. And this would be on the inside wall where the students walk to receive the food. So adding some really nice elements inside. We would also be redoing these signs that currently hang over the serving lines. These would all feature nutritional values that would promote healthy eating with our students. As for the middle school, this is a proposal for McAuliffe, thank you. McAuliffe. So that wall would be completely redone, adding in those same elements and signage as well. And the inside wall as well would get redone and make it look real nice and pretty. So, side walls, we would add in some cork boards, that way we would still be able to post everything that we are required to post. And the serving lines would get new signage as well. Year one, we would look at doing 5 of the elementaries: Sun Valley, Spicewood, Big Country, Meadow Creek, and Bob Hope. We would also want to get McAuliffe done, as we feel it's one of the schools that needs the most work. Year 2, we would finish off the elementary schools, and then we would also get Scobie Middle School done, as we feel it would be the next school that would benefit the most. And the final year, we could do the remaining 2 middle schools, McNair and Resnick. These would probably need signage only, so it would be cheaper for us, and we could also then look at doing the 2 high schools. We feel that Southwest would need the bulk of the money because it is a larger space. Overall, we are estimating that we would need no more than $840,000 over the 3 years. This would be covered by child nutrition funds. Thank you.
Question?
No.
I will say that we will probably, at the subcommittee, facility subcommittee, bring kind of further designs as we start to plan these out and get the real in the weeds, and then maybe we can do an items information in the future once we kind of get the.
So everything that's currently there will be removed, all of the
Correct. We're gonna replace it,
previous-
just upgrading the marketing, making it
Okay.
more modern, and their team's gonna work on the design with the firm.
Plan to bring like, does the team plan like 2 to 3 designs for campus, and then you would propose to the drawing?
Awesome. You made the Daniel moves. Joe seconds. Any other questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you, guys. Consider approval of change order number 1 for the Elm Creek Elementary renovation project.
So currently, right now, we have LPA Architect that's on the elementary project at Elm Creek. We also have Boris General Contractors, who's the general contractor on this job. Previously, in the 2012 bond, we went and we basically did a full makeover of Indian Creek and Big Country, with the exception of the millwork. At the time, we didn't have enough bond funds to do the millwork. We just, with the 2012 bonds, we ran out of funds when we came to that point. So at this point, we're asking, because we've done some studies at the millwork at Indian Creek and Big Country, we took this to subcommittee to look into possibly adding it and doing this in the future. So we're asking the board to do a change order to the Elm Creek project, because LPA was the architect that was on Indian Creek and Big Country at the time. And we would like to extend this to Joris to go ahead and add those to the scope so that they can go in and replace the millwork this summer. And it would be a complete millwork replacement. You have a picture here of what it would look like, going in and replacing the countertops and also all the millwork across each classroom. And so we're recommending to the board to approve the change order to the Elm Creek project contract to the amount of $2,350,000 or $2,350,000.
And that's from bond funds?
It'll be from bond funds.
Okay.
And
Joe and James? Okay. Any other questions, guys? No? Do you have anything else to say, Brandon, about it? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. Consider approval of 2025-2026 medical benefits plan.
So you have this paperwork on your desktop there, because I don't know how you're gonna do it, but it's gonna be good enough for you to see up here on the screen. So there's a lot of data, there's a lot of different rates, so I want to talk about a couple years back, we found out Humana was leaving the market and they were getting out of the public sector. And so what we had to do is we needed to go out and bid out our insurance again. At the time, we replaced our agent, so we hired Brown & Brown to be our agent to help us go out and solicit different bids from different providers. The part of selecting Brown & Brown was they had a history of creating self-funded plans for districts, which was also the trajectory that we were trying to be on. Moving away from the fully insured to the self-funded plan, hopefully bringing better premiums and better service to our employees at the same time, reducing the cost the district has as far as their contribution. So that's kind of been our pathway, and I know with you, we've had a couple presentations to the board about trying to go self-funded. The issues that we've ran into is this year is a historical year for us as far as claims. So at the end of the day, the best way I can put this is that we have more claims coming in than we're paying in premiums. I shared this with the budget committee the other day. If you look at the blue is our premiums, and the red highly the most used months, because most people are off in those days because we have Thanksgiving break and we have Christmas break, and a lot of people do surgeries and go to the doctor. But the claim data is basically, if you look at December, we're spending 29% more than we're bringing in. So we're 129% spend in that month, and you get to January, it's 152%. And so we know, based on our trend data, especially in the summer, when we get to the months of May, June, and July, other folks start to go out and get their surgeries, go to the doctor, and do all their things. And so we're projecting to spend over $13 million in claims, which we're bringing in when we take the money from the employee and the district contributes. We're going to bring in about $11 million. So Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to take a loss this year based on our claims of what we're paying in premiums. What does that mean for us? So this chart shows you on the left side, this is our current. So we have 1,686 employees that take our insurance, and we're budgeting at $559 per employee. That's what Blue Cross is budgeting on, and hoping that we would stay below that 11.3 million. We're projecting this year to finish at 13, and so next year, looking at our claims data, we would need to put almost $676 per person to raise enough funds to cover the deficit of 13 million. Why this is important? Because we wanted Brown & Brown to go out and bid out our insurance, so they did. With the idea that when we signed up with Blue Cross Blue Shield, we had a 2-year agreement with a 1-year renewal, and they promised if we stayed with them another year, they wouldn't go up 15% on our premiums, which is really good right now. It wasn't good when we think about it. At the time, it was like, well, that's still really high. We don't want our premiums to go up 15%. But we went out with Brown & Brown, and they went out and they looked at the medical area of fully insured, and then they went out and looked at self-funded plans and asked people to bid on our plans. And so this is the actual market summary. And so Aetna did not want to bid on ours, so they didn't even submit. United Healthcare was pretty unresponsive, so they tried to call them, they would not answer. So really, Blue Cross is the only one that responded because they have our business already, and so they said, yes, we would like to do business with you next year, but based on your claims data, your rates are going to increase 15%. So also with the self-funded, we had 2 vendors, Kempton Group and Lucent Health, who actually submitted bids to move us to a self-funded plan. The problem with that is when we build a self-funded plan with the $13 million, without being at Blue Cross Blue Shield, our premiums would have went up 40% if we were on our own. So as a district, we would have had set rates at 40% higher than what they are right now to go to a self-funded plan. And so Brown & Brown, being our agent, is recommending to us to stay with Blue Cross Blue Shield due to the fact that their premiums are only going to increase due to the contract 15%, which is really not good either way for employees, because at the end of the day, they're going to be paying more premiums next year than what they're paying now. So what that looks like, so this is basically if we didn't do anything as a district, and I like to look at the bronze plans, which are the 2 middle plans. Those are the ones that are most used by our employees. So we have the bronze HMO. If you look at employee only, we have 578 employees on the bronze HMO. And if you move over to where it says employee pays monthly, so the bronze HMO right now, currently they're paying $50.75. Because of the rate increase of 15% from Blue Cross, Blue Shield, that's gonna go to $114.61. And so it's a pretty significant increase, which was the 15%. Same thing in the bronze PPO. We have 563 employees on the bronze PPO. Right now, that employee pays $98 a month for that plan, and next year they would be paying $169 for that plan. And the reason why I'm bringing this up today, because we need to adopt the rate so that, because we have spring enrollment, we really don't have any other choice out in the market to go to right now. We don't have any other fully insured that bid our product. And then it's gonna be too expensive for the employee and the district to do self-funded at this time. So we are recommending to stay with Blue Cross, even with the 15% cap of percentage increase. But we're also recommending to the district, to you, to talk about possibly adding to the contribution. I know it's counterproductive to the deficit we're trying to reduce. We're working over here doing things to reduce our deficit, but at the same time, our employees are gonna feel this in the pocketbook. Right now, we don't know what the state's gonna do as far as raises. They're saying that they're going to do something, so hopefully it will help when we give a raise here this spring, when we get through the legislative session. But if we don't do anything, we're gonna see pretty significant rates increases for our employees. So the recommendation from district staff, because we're in legislative session, is to increase $25 a month per employee going into next year. Wait till legislators meet and see what they do compensation wise. And if they do something, that's great, that's gonna help us. But if they don't, then we could possibly revisit this again in maybe June or July and increase it some more to help mitigate the burden of the increase. But right now, if we do a $25 increase, which goes from $375 to $400, we have 1,686 employees. Now, this number will fluctuate because we might have more employees on the plan next year or less. So doing $25 per employee more a month costs the district about $500,000. Anything above that, so I put on there 415. If we went from 375 to 415, that'd be about $800,000. If we went up $50, it would cost the district $1 million to do that, based on current enrollment. So right now, as a district, I would recommend that we increase it to $25 to help. It's still gonna be an increase in employee. You probably won't know that we gave them an extra $25, but at the same time, it's gonna lower that burden on that cost. And at the same time, still watch what happens in Austin and see if they do a compensation plan. And if they don't, we might wanna come back and revisit this to add to this to help employees, so they don't feel like next year they go into next year and they're actually making less money because of the cost of health insurance. So that would be my recommendation to the district.
Brandon, how do we compare with like other districts as far as insurance? Is everyone?
Well, we looked around at different districts. There's some districts their rates are a lot higher than us. And there's some districts that have lower rates. And what I've learned in this, just like property insurance or any insurance, is based on your claims. So when you're by yourself, that's why we got out of the big pools, because we wanted to be by ourselves. But this year we have such significant health concerns going on with some of our employees that there's like 27 claims that are driving most of this. 27 people. And it's just what it is this year. So really, we can say, we can compare, but we did put up here the contributions, like, so Southside's giving $375 a month per employee. Judson's giving $400, Hardingville's giving $410, $376, Northeast is giving $600. But I noticed the plans that are self-funded, they're actually paying more. So it's supposed to be helping, but like your self-funded plans, the districts are having to contribute more for the employees. So I don't know if it's because they're trying to navigate it. I know I talked to Medina Valley, they're self-funded. They're having a hard time with their plan right now. Hardingdale, the same thing, just because cost of insurance is up. When you go to the doctor, it's a lot more expensive. And, the claims data is what gets you. So it's hard to compare to other districts when our claims data is what it is. And, I'm not saying we're not healthier,
Yeah.
but it's just this year's different. So hopefully it gets better, and then we can really work on reducing rates, and possibly one day maybe go to self-funded. But at this time, our rates are no better than what TRS was offering. So that's another thing we need to look at.
So when you do try to go self-funded, how many years do they look back to, or is it just previous year, or do
No,
they
try
go
to
5
look-
years?
Yeah, they
or-
try to look at 5-year trend data on what your claims are, and they build a program, because when you hire somebody to help you do that, their best interest is for us to be successful at it.
Right.
Because that's, And so they're gonna look at all 5 years and they're gonna build us a plan so that we aren't having to use any like stop loss or fund balance to cover our losses. Because we don't wanna be in the health insurance business because we want it to be not profitable, but we wanna pay in to help people get better service, but at the same time not put a burden on the district more than what it already is.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay?
board,
Thank you, Brandon.
I know we asking, you admin, the rest of the board to find ways to cut money and fix the deficit, but, this is something we're gonna have to do. I mean, minimum, like you said, revisit it later. Hopefully, employees understand it, we're gonna try to help them, but also trying to make sure they get a real big, down the road.
I do wanna say that to the board, because we do have a goal of saving 4 million from our deficit, but this is one of those things that we talked about at the beginning, that it may impact this. We're gonna still work to get to that 4 million, we still have to project our revenue, but I think it's well worth it to really help employees with this part.
okay. Joe moved, Daniel second. If there's no other questions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Items of information, the Juan M. Alvarado Elementary Mascot Survey.
Yep, Roger's going to do a presentation. I know that Roger along with the communications department, have done a survey to gather some input. So of course, this today is just an item of information to share some of the information Roger has received from the survey. So thank you, Roger.
And there's a whole process, and Roger's the expert on that, so he's been handling this project. One of the things we notice when there is a new school, that the children love saying years down the road, and 30 years from now, they're gonna say, we helped name them. So we made sure to survey the kids, the future students of that school, and I'm gonna go ahead and let Roger handle it.
Thank you. How y'all doing this afternoon? Board, Dr. Ball. Also want to acknowledge Mr. Alvarado in the audience and our new principal, Squinka Wilson over there. Welcome. So these are survey results. What we did was, this is my 5th school actually helping with the naming of. I helped with Medio Creek, Spicewood, Resnick, and Legacy. So this will be my 5th one to help with. Again, what like Jenny reiterate what Jenny said was that when we give this opportunity to our students to allow them to be able to help name their school, or name their mascot, I should say, they take great pride in that, and they do take ownership of that. This helps them with becoming a new building and being a new family. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the results here. So our procedure, part of our procedure that we do is that we survey the new students that are going to be coming in to the new school projected. So we surveyed the 3rd and 4th grade students from Sky Harbor and Spicewood Park Elementary. The teachers were gracious enough to allow us to give them the survey. We had 122 responses from them. From the following slides, you'll show that which one were the most popular ones, where we had a consensus, and then also what other notes that we could have regarding overlapping colors that we already have existing, and other mascots that are used by schools. Just so you know, within the survey, we presented the color choices in multiple choice formats, so we kind of gave them a list of different colors. That way we don't get some really out there ones. But the mascot suggestions, we also allowed them to do in short answer format, so they were able to write in their suggestions. And then we were able to compile those results as well. So, real quick, the top main choice colors that we had for them, the question that we asked them is, what would look great as the main color for our new school? So the overwhelming response was they liked gold. Gold was 21%, followed by blue, red, black, and orange. Of these notes to know is that Legacy is the only school that contains gold as its main color besides the green. There's also 3 other schools that use yellow as a secondary color, which is also similar to the gold. Currently, we have 6 schools that contain a shade of blue as its main color. So even though the blue was in there as a second choice, it's something that we've done many times over. We're kind of running out of shades. Also to note is that Sky Harbor uses a blue and yellow scheme. So of the top 2 color choices, you can see that there's already kind of an established color scheme there. As far as the secondary color choices, what we asked them was that what would look great as the second color for our new school. So we asked them to think about what would look good with their color choice. So again, they chose gold again as their second, so they really like gold. They also, very shiny, so they like gold. Also followed by white, black, blue, red, and purple. The gold received the most votes, and then white and black being the next popular vote getter. I included purple into the list as a nod to Resnick. As we know, Alvarado Elementary is going to be built on the same complex as Legacy and Resnick, and I thought it'd be kind of a cool little tie-in to have gold for Legacy and purple for Resnick, and it being the tying piece to the campus. So it's just an idea. So again, mascot choices. So mascot choices, what we asked them was what kind of animal or character would make a good school mascot for our new school. Again, these were write-in votes. They were able to write in whatever it is that they felt at the time that they would be a great mascot. Of those votes, we had a tiger, a lion, eagle, cheetah, a dog, and a fox. So obviously, big cats is the trend right now. They love big cats. But just as a note, because even though we have tiger as number one for 16%, Scobie is the tiger, so we have Scobie tigers already. And the third choice was the eagle, but Hidden Cove already has eagles. So those are choices that have been done. But we can substitute other animals in that place that are similar that will help keep their choice within the thinking of it. Sorry. Other considerations we also asked them is that what do they prefer? Did they prefer a real animal, or did they prefer something like a magical creature or anything like that? So with that question, we'll just see which other one did they prefer. 60% chose that they wanted a real animal. And then we asked them, what kind of traits do you want within that animal or that mascot? And they chose words like fun, strength, wisdom, typical things that you would see within a mascot choice. They wanted something strong, something that will let them be able to have depth with, instead of just something that's made up or anything like that. They kind of have a better way to grasp that. So our key takeaways from this was that students overwhelmingly chose gold to be one of the colors, either as the main color or the secondary color. The students would like a real animal. From the top choices that were not used already, that would include lions, cheetahs, dogs, or foxes. And then based on these traits, they would like one of the more of these traits, which is fun, strength, or wisdom. So all of these choices that they kind of chose goes in line with that. Okay. So this is what we recommend. Again, these are just recommendations we can go with. Going through these, the survey and what we do already have existing, and then to go along with what they said. So some of the color combinations that we put in there was gold and black. Instead of gold and white, because gold and white are too similar in the color spectrum, so they would wash each other out. So we went with the black to give it some kind of contrast. The other one was, because it was also a popular choice, was a golden red, which is also very strong color, and a golden purple, which would also be that tie to Resnick and to Legacy. Of the mascot choices that we had, we could do lions, which represent the big cats overall, because they really like the big cats. Instead of an eagle, maybe a hawk would be another choice. And then instead of just a dog, I guess they love dogs, we decided a wolf, which is also part of those traits that they asked for. Okay. So with those things, what we do now, the next step of the procedure is that we do draft logos. When we do draft logos, what we do is that we don't use anything that's already stock, already made. We do everything original artwork. So that way we don't have to worry about copyright. We don't have to worry about cease and desist. Everything is original. We do ask, we can bring in examples to submit for reference. So I will be working with Ms. Cuenca Wilson and senior staff board if you have suggestions, or just something that you might see that, hey, this is a cool looking lion, or this is a cool looking hawk, maybe something like this. We can then use that as reference to be making the logos. Once we do that, we get the logos approved, the draft logos, and then the two color combinations will then be voted on by future students. The winning mascot with the winning color combination would then be revealed at a future board meeting. So what we do is that basically we'll have 9 choices for them. So we'll have three mascots, 3 sets of colors, and then we have them all out for the students to see, and then they pick the one that they like the best. And that's pretty much how the procedure works on this. If there's any questions.
Could you go back to the original, the first slide where it had the first colors?
Yes, ma'am.
That one. So blue was so close. I'm just, for an elementary school, I'm just not sure about black, to be quite honest. I don't know how anybody else feels, but I'm not feeling like that's a loving, vibrant, beautiful color. So I don't know how the board feels, but maybe going back and narrowing it down to some colors that the board likes, and another vote without the color black.
Okay.
For me, elementary board, I don't know how y'all feel, black is just not doing it for me.
And they have to be primary colors or?
They don't have to be primary colors. A lot of times we do shades. Like I said, well, since we have so many blue schools, we have different shades of that blue. We have a light blue, a dark blue, like a blue green. I think it was for Spicewood. We have a like a dark blue and a silver with that's Southwest Elementary. So we can do different shades of it. And same thing, if we do want to add a different color scheme in there, we can, and then we can just work a different shade in there.
I love the shade of blue that actually Daniel and Ms. Bernal are wearing. Daniel's is a really good blue.
Mhm.
That, when I thought about blue, that's the color of blue,
Like navy blue?
like navy blue or.
And that's similar to what,
The Scoby Dane dark blue, yeah, with gold. Yeah, that's Scoby color.
the Scoby colors is a more of is a blue, and
Like a name.
Sky Harbor has a navy blue already, and we also have a navy blue with Medio Creek, because they use that blue orange.
I know, they're all rainbow. I mean, we can do a draft of that so you can see it, but just know, or any other color, just know that it has to be a contrast, dark and light.
Yeah.
I
You can't
like
have two
blue
light
and
colors.
white. I mean, blue really wasn't that far behind gold.
Right.
I mean, it's really almost 19 to 21. So, I mean, just personally, I don't even like gold for a school color. It's hard to match that, you can't really get a gold t-shirt, you can't, it's rough when Legacy tries to do gold anything, cause it turns out being like yellow.
Like a
So-
mustard gold, yeah.
Yeah. And white was real close to the secondary color too.
Right, and the
White.
reason we didn't go with the white because of because I was going with the gold was that because of the contrasting color, and same thing, like if we do a blue white, that's also like a Scoby or a Southwest Elementary already. It's really close. So that's kind of why we're kind of showing these other colors. But again, I'm just presenting the survey results from the students.
When one of the companies presented, they had a really pretty, like turquoise gold, and I know that Crewell does some type of, like a turquoise, but they're mainly purple, right?
They use a turquoise purple.
They
Well,
use a
scheme.
secondary turquoise.
I know what we've done in the past is after Roger gets some of these colors, because he can do combinations, and then we can bring them to the subcommittee.
Yeah, that
'Cause
would be good.
that's where we'll get them approved and kind of narrow them down, and then.
And then I could also, as far as like getting started on the draft choices, as far we can have them done in black and white, and then we can just pop in colors as we want. We can also do that as well.
I would suggest one of the colors, either blue and white or blue and silver, definitely be one of the colors that we, as an option.
Okay.
Blue and white and blue and silver, that looks really good.
Well, it's, should we also, I mean, if you're gonna do, the eagle, then you're not gonna want like purple or.
Yeah, or it's more of a we're suggesting a hawk instead of an eagle because we have an
I
eagle
mean, the
already.
hawk, yeah.
But they can be whatever color, I mean, we've seen them in,
Oh yeah, you can do anything you want. Like I said, I can move as far as the mascot go. I can go black and white for now, and then we can pop in colors as we need to.
just remember to keep it friendly because of what happened with Spicewood that.
Yes,
people
and that's what we
complained
that's
it was
what
a scary mascot.
again we switched it up now. So now it's a cub. It's no teeth, so it's nice. Again, as we do the procedure, we learn these things, but we can also, like I said, I can go with any colors that we are being asked to do. Like I said, I was just going by what was off the survey and what kind of works with what we already have. Like I said, my concern is that when you have, say when we get all together for convocation, as far as like saying like a blue and silver, that's what we have for Southwest Elementary, and it already being an elementary, that you'll have the same color scheme as another school that's already established, and then you kind of get lost in that. So I wanted to give them their own identity, but again, we can do whatever it is that you would want us to do on that.
And with the 122 surveys y'all had, what grade level was it?
Third and fourth grade.
Okay.
Isn't
And
there
then-
a lot more,
That's very.
a lot more kids than 120?
They already did Spice Gun Discover.
Oh,
There's
the-
only like probably three.
Only the kids that are going into,
Third grade. So 6 classes of 20 should have.
okay.
Yeah.
But I can bring more color options to them, and like you said, I can give them another survey, give it a week, and then we can see what we come back with. Like I said, really the main part that, if I can move forward, is, again, it's up to y'all, is the mascot piece, because that's the part that takes a little longer to get, examples and drafts and things like that. Again, I can do those in black and white, and that's not a problem to color them in later.
So you want us to know if we like the Hawks or the,
Lions,
What was
hawks,
it?
wolves, those are kind of like the main ones.
We going offline and coming up with mascots, or are we having somebody draw it, or?
Yes, so I have a graphic designer that I've been working with. He's the one that helped me redo Spicewoods, which they love now. So I'm going to use the same artist that I work with to get that redone.
I'm not gonna steal her idea, but Frances brought up a very good point. She said on one of those animals, there's a very distinct difference between the female version and the male version. So she said, maybe you should stick to one that the female and the male version look the same, so
Mhm.
nobody says, oh, why did you pick the male version, not the female version?
oh,
Or
the
vice
lion?
versa.
The
Right.
lion?
But on the lion too, I was thinking, since make it more kid friendly, I was thinking more of a cub, as opposed, because you don't have the mane yet, and you can see the one, so that's an idea too.
Okay, so on this, the one where you have all the mascots, what did you say, hawk?
Oh, hawk, lions,
lion,
and wolves.
wolf.
Or we can do a dog or of
What
some
was their
kind.
favorite?
But we don't wanna
eagle?
do wolf, cause then they say, go.
Yeah.
What was their favorite?
Their favorite was a tiger, which is
Wolves, yeah,
Scobie.
but
Then they'll
going
say
down the
wolves.
line, other than
Lion,
vegetarian.
cheetah, a dog,
lion and eagle
Mhm.
were their second.
and the eagle is Hidden Cove.
That's why you're saying hawk.
Yeah.
What do you think, namesake? Mr. Alvarado? Yeah, you don't like the lions or the hawks? We're gonna have to get back to you on the mascot.
Sure.
We're not ready to pick.
Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely. I table this for a little while, so it's
Yeah.
not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to
Okay.
give you the results of the survey.
Thank you, Roger.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So we will talk about the mascot more later. All right. Where's my agenda?
Next.
Oh, other business, Dr. Ball?
Want to remind everybody, there's a soccer game tomorrow. If anybody would like to ride with us, you certainly can. The send-off, I sent you the send-off information, very similar to what we've done in the past, at 2:15 today. If anybody would like to join me, there's two race sale events going on. One of them is going to be at Hidden Cove at 1:30. I'm not sure we'll make that one. And then at 2:30 at Sun Valley. And then again, I think everybody remembers this weekend, we will go and have a presentation at the conference by Chief Paloma.
And we'll get an award.
And we'll get an award.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else, board? Yes, no? Okay. We're going to, oh. Okay, we're gonna adjourn at 12:17.